on, everybody? So, I don't want people to think that I'm bashing repeaters. I mean, I kind of am, and I'm kind of not. It's people need to learn their limitations. And the big thing is I'm a big hypocrite. I used to be that person on a repeater that was, like 10 miles away from my house, air miles, and using a handheld and just getting into it like noise. And I had a very bad experience with that. The repeater owner, everybody on it, the repeater owner made it seem like everybody hated me on the air because all I was doing was tearing up the airwaves with some noisy static. Um, and, asking a lot out of the repeater that I shouldn't have. But, the thing that I'm really jabbing at is you look on a website and it's saying that there's a repeater that's, 5, 10, 15, 20 miles down the road, and people are trying to hit it with their handhelds and they're not able to. People are buying mobile radios and base stations and stuff like that, and then they're still not able to get into that repeater. Well, that repeater's probably not there. Um, my kid has decided to bring Bop It. Get. Get. Yeah, well, keep it in your room. Um, but, my big thing is I'm not, I don't dislike repeaters. I dislike the repeater users that were like myself way back when, that were too far out and just won't stop. I mean, I usually try to give it a couple times before I tell the person just stop. That's coming in real noisy. Because RF is funny. You could be right here, da 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 da. Oh, you're all noisy. Right here. Hey, you're crystal clear. That's just the way it works sometimes. But I realized I've kind of made jabs at some repeaters, and it's not even that I. If you have a good repeater, great. Keep up the good work. If you've got one of those that you threw up on a fucking website and say, yeah, I've got a repeater and there's nothing there, you're a jackass. And all you're doing is making people run to a repeater that ain't even freaking there. I put a listing on a website when I had my simplex node to draw people in, and I had full intentions, and I fully did this. If I had people that could get into it, I bought a duplexer and made it into a repeater. But, and there's nothing wrong with doing that neither. But again, here I am a year and a half later, and I had to take my antenna down and all that fun stuff. But that's a different point. But for those of you that are fortunate enough to actually have a repeater and have it up in the air, that is great. You just got to make sure the users know the repeater's limitations. And if they don't know the limitations, you got to tell them. Don't let that guy sit there and nobody freaking tell him, hey, dude, you're just not making it. That pissed me off, is I got the repeater owner telling me, oh, I got all these guys telling me all you're doing is tearing up the airwaves. Fucking tell me I'm doing it, I would stop. Duh. But, yeah, my experience may not be other experiences, but I'm just passing some of it along, and watching some of the videos that I've done over the past couple weeks here, I've realized that I've kind of jabbed at repeaters as they're crap. No. Most GMRS repeaters are just rooftop antenna repeaters, so even if it does say on a website it gets 10 miles, it might only get 5. That's what I say, is it's just, you gotta know your repeater that you're trying to use's limitations. And if nobody on the repeater tells you, how are you supposed to know? Alright, thanks for watching, and if you do have a repeater, you're always welcome to join us. I mean, if it wasn't for some repeaters, we wouldn't have the traffic we do today. But just a forewarning, most of the repeaters on the network only have the repeater owner. They can't get other people to use them. There are a few that people started using them, which is great, you know. The more the merrier. But yeah, so I'm going to be done with my rant and hopefully get to more how-to videos, because I really want you guys to be the ones to make this stuff. What we're finding out is once you've put it together and you hear us in Hawaii, in California, in Massachusetts, in Wisconsin, and you're in the middle of nowhere, you'll be excited and you're able to say, hey, I built this, and have pride that you did this. You know, yes, it's nice to be able to just go out and buy something that works, but if you're really truly into the hobby, try and figure it out. Like I say, Linux is a very finicky thing. I do not know Linux, but I know the software. I have made the software as easy as I can. For the 888 modifications, it's very simple. It literally tells you yes, no, hit yes, no to correspond. It doesn't tell you as to why you're hitting yes or no. I could go off into La La Land. I like talking. But there is how-to videos. If you don't know what the videos I'm talking about, it's called RIM to Max Track, or modify RIM, or modify BF888 to Max Track. And that will give you the gist of actually modifying the radio to the sound card. If you have like a GR1225 repeater, that is the very easiest and cheapest route to get into. Same with if you have a Motorola with a 16-pin connector for a simplex node. If you already have it, great. If you don't have it and you want to sink the money into the radio, the power supply, the external antenna, the coax to feed it, by all means. But by the time you build up all that, you could have just went with 888 and used it yourself. Alright, you guys, I'm going to sign off of here, go find a radio, and play on the air. Hopefully, I get to see you, or hear you,